Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Cohn. I'm here with Wendy Martin, who is a '92 Olympian. They earned a team bronze that year. And we're continuing our series on perfectionism in gymnastics because it is such a big issue. And today we'd like to focus on letting go of mistakes, and that gymnasts often that are perfectionists can't accept the fact that they made a mistake, and often will dwell on those mistakes like we talked about in our first video in this series. So Wendy, I guess the question is, how do you get athletes or gymnasts past those mistakes so that they can focus in the moment and not allow it to disrupt a routine that's only going to take a minute and a half or so? That's a short period of time for their performance. And if they make a mistake early on or in the middle of the routine, I could see how that could really be a problem if you're a perfectionist.
First, what we try to do is, with perfectionists, they tend to see their routines as good or bad. And so what we do is we try to have them embrace mistakes. And this happens way before competition. So if they do make a mistake, they're able to not just think of it as a terrible routine and throw the routine away, but they're able to just take the mistake and accept the mistake. In competition, what we do is we focus a little bit more on the mental choreography, but we also have them do, if they make a mistake and they see that they're getting out of control with their thinking, they have a quick refocusing word that they say to get them right back on track. So if during their mental choreography, if they happen to make a mistake and they feel themselves going off, they can say one word, like maybe, let's go strong, or get back to it, or something that they can refocus to go on with their routine.
Yeah, so then if I fall off beam, well, I'm not going to be falling off beam. If a gymnast falls off the beam, that's obviously a pretty big mistake. Then what do they need to do to take it right back into their routine like it never happened?
Yeah, that happens again with the mental choreography and the focus, is that we try to teach them the whole mental choreography, and the routine from beginning to end should have the same mental choreography it has the physical choreography.
Which means they know what to focus on from the beginning to the end of the routine.
Correct. So if they happen to fall, they are, we don't really plan, sometimes we do, we'll go through if they do happen to fall, just so they know to get back on the routine or in the routine, so we know if there is something that happens, how to get back. But we don't really teach them, the fall, because we don't want to make it that it's okay to fall, but in a sense that we don't want to choreograph the fall. Do you understand with that? But with what we do is we teach them kind of coping skills on if they do fall, to say those refocusing skills to get back into it.
So really then you are teaching, in a way, the coping skills are kind of a choreography of how to deal with the mistakes and the particular mistakes. Because one of the things that I'll do is, what are the top mistakes that you're going to dwell on, or that you're going to get upset during the routine, and then have some type of coping response ready for that. So once again, if we go back to the beam example, then what would be the coping exercise for them? Would it be visualizing themselves, practicing that, getting back up, staying composed, and going on to the next skill?
What we would do is, if they did happen to fall, a gymnast has 30 seconds to get back up on the apparatus. So we teach them, don't jump up immediately. Gather themselves together. If there's a chalk bucket, sometimes there's chalk by the end of the beam, they can go over back to the chalk bucket, get the chalk back on their hands or feet, take a couple deep breaths. Which is
buying time to kind of let it go and relax.
And then, once they feel reset, jump back up on the beam. So we do teach them, a little routine. With perfectionists, it can get a little tricky because, again, we don't want to teach them to fall, but we just want to teach them how to cope if they do fall.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely important. Like, things are not going to always go perfect in sports, and you want your athletes to be able to have some type of coping response when they do make mistakes. Then they don't go to the old habitual or habits of beating themselves up and dwelling, that they know that there's something else to go to other than you know, what they've done in the past, and that is, it's unacceptable for them to make mistakes.
Right. And when we teach them about, you know, the coping and the routine that they do, they also know that falling can be a part of sports, and other people do fall, and it's okay to fall. It doesn't, you know, make it a terrible routine. It's just a deduction. And then, you know, we take that routine and we can be, you know, put it aside and move on to the next event.
Great. Thanks for the tips, Wendy. I'm Dr. Patrick Cohn with Wendy Martin in our series about perfectionism in gymnastics. If you want more information to improve your mental toughness in gymnastics, please check out our new website at gymnasticsmentalcoach.com.